Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are. I'm Sarah of Spa and Wellness Gharieni, and today I'm here with Sammy Gharieni of Gharieni, and we're going to talk about mind-body wellness technologies. Most people know I'm a huge fan of the amazing technologies that Gharieni produces, and I enjoy each and every one of them, and there's always something new and innovative coming out. Sammy, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you for having me here at your presentation, or I can present myself. Yes, I'm good. I'm in London. Arrived yesterday from Paris when my flight was canceled, 2.5 hours delay. It's flight, and in total 9 hours. But for the rest, I'm good.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm glad you're able to share a little bit of time with us. I'm going to hand over to you now, and let's hear about mind-body wellness technologies.
Okay. So are you going to share the presentation? Waiting for that. Sarah, I don't see the...
If you can click share screen, and then it's just come up from
I will do now. Yes, here. Okay, good. So I hope it's okay now.
Perfect, Sammy. Yes.
Okay. As I told you, I'm not familiar with doing presentations. I am more in the real world rather than being here. But anyway, thank you very much for this opportunity just to talk a little about mind-body wellness technologies and our industry. So I think we have to look back before COVID and what happened with COVID, that people had to be, we all know the whole story of this 2.5 years. That's kind of little change the behavior of people and the way the consumer is enjoying today the moments, okay, in terms of work. The way people want to work is changed, the way people want to live is changed, the way people want to do their sports changed, so everything changed. So thus our industry as well. So I think it's all about the guest experience and the expectation of the guests. We have to ask ourselves what did change. So one thing what happened is that we saw the first steps after COVID. Everyone was talking about, oh my God, we can do massage, you know, about being near someone, breathing, or the virus and all the things. And then so touch was a little challenging. So everyone was talking about touchless technologies and focusing everything around that. And if you remember, even for treatments, we had a plexiglass shield that protects the guest from the therapist, you know, getting close and breathing. And so what we are seeing is immediate reaction to what was happening. I think 1.5 years ago. My God, time flies. So that means the people were all about, don't touch me, I want to have distance. So spa has to shift their business model from the regular about the one that they have been doing the 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago, about just massage and services and this type of deep tissue, etc., to this touchless. So touchless means that I get a treatment with a therapist where I can even use it myself. And it was also a nice thing that people said, okay, I don't need a therapist. That means I will save money. So there was a kind of let's say a kind of a benefit also out of that one. Okay, so what we see is after this trend that it's going back, and I want to talk later about that. So what we see is definitely the guest and the client has changed its behavior of when they go to the spa, and it's becoming more and more something where I want to have something in a unique experience. I want to have a benefit. I want just to have my massage back to the old times, but there are new components. And this is what I'm going to talk about it. And which takes me to the next slide. So as I said, the consumer's behavior is changing, it's shifting. So they are what we request now. It's not about just a regular spa experience, but we call it a wellness experience. Wellness is a big word. We all know that you can tag everything wellness nowadays. So we have to be careful where we are using it. And it's now for us, for our industry. So we don't want to do it in all the discussion about the definition of wellness, but for us, it's simply about mental fitness, health optimization, which means also prevention, and the take-home value, which, let's say, we put it together as with my advisory board. We focus on a new terminology and a new word which I like. It's called mind-body wellness technologies, which will make a definition for the way we want to use wellness technologies in our industry. So these technologies that provide enhanced and accelerated results. So which type of results, what we are going to aim? For that, I want to go to one of our new technologies. Before I jump to this slide, I think it's important to see in the past. So in the past, when I was, from my background of being 31 years in the industry, I started building this facial chairs and multifunctional facial chairs, physiotherapy beds, medical style beds, and then I discovered the spa beds, which are my business, or still my business until now. But about 11, 12 years ago, we just were the first to bring something very unique, which was the quartz bed. And the quartz bed was to bring the psalmotherapy to the spa. So we bring the beach to the spa. What was it? It was a new experience. It was something beneficial, because then we have a therapy with warm sand, which helps getting rid of pain. It's pain relief treatment, stretching out the spine, etc. So this was already the beginning 12 years ago. And another technology which I jump on now, which it's called the Wellnamis. When we launched it, the word was Spa Wave. Spa was the big word, so we were focusing on spa wording. And it uses something which becomes more and more, let's say, will be like standard. So we use vibroacoustic. In this case, we combine it with binaural sound. So a binaural sound, everyone can Google it if you are not familiar with it, it's a shifting of frequencies in order to work on the brain. So what we reach with this technology is a brain entrainment to calm down the brain activity, to have a certain phase of deep relaxation, or maybe also a power napping. So this type of technology made this, so which we implement in one of our 15 years old spa table, which is the Amphibia, the one that I'm sure you are familiar with, the one with water cushioning and ambiance light, that we built this technology here in order to enhance the experience, and it allows the spa and to extend its treatment, which is hands-on, to half an hour brain entrainment. So that means the spa can charge for an additional service which doesn't require a therapist, or I can sell also let's say a treatment, 10 treatment package of 10 treatments where I don't need a therapist. So here we have the combination of definitely both hands-on and touchless, which was on the market 6-7 years ago. At that time, no one was thinking about why are they doing that. It was just a vision about what I think is important to our industry, what I thought at that time, 7 years ago, 12 years ago with the quartz bed, with Wellnamis was about 7 years ago, to bring an additional experience and an additional 22 minutes experience that changes the way the guest experience his treatment or her treatment. Going from there, which we stay at the vibroacoustic, binaural vibroacoustic technology. And we launched a product which has been also like 4 or 5 years ago on the market. since 4 or 5 years now. It's called the Satori. It's a similar technology, but not built into a spa table, a spa bed, but built into a zero gravity lounger. This bed tilts and it brings you from the sitting position to the zero gravity position, and it has a very strong, more powerful intensity and package of 40 programs that go far beyond the Wellnamis technology. Here we want to go deeper and do a very strong brain entrainment, which can go in both directions, going from beta, alpha, theta, delta brain entrainment, or we go the other way around from beta to gamma, which is gamma waves, 40 hertz. If you're not familiar with that, these are the brain waves of the brain. So we can, depending if we are sleeping, if we are meditating, there are different brain waves, brainwave activities. And I will not go into the details, but just the takeaway is that here I can really do what I call, what even clients said, it's a brain gym. So I just have a brain experience, and this explains what we call the mind-body wellness technology. It's the mind in this case. So we work on the brain, and the brain is very important to us. I mean, we can be in the body-wise very healthy. We can be very in good shape, but if we can't sleep well, if we have struggles in stress, if we have a PTSD problems, etc., that is a problem. So we have a new trend that we are seeing now. We can work here with this type of loungers in wellness clinics. We can work in medical environment. We can work in airline lounges. We have clients. We can work in residential. So this is really a powerful single use experience with optimization for sure if repeated. That's the good news for the spa, because then you need to repeat. That means you can sell packages, and it requires definitely repetition. Using the vibroacoustic in this time, it's not about having any therapeutic benefit, but it's more about having a new experience. We implemented the AuraSense technology in one of our zero gravity loungers, which is hardware similar to the other one, but technology wise totally different. We have 28 transducers that work to bring a new multisensorial experience, and it's a non-visual haptic experience. Haptic means it's related to the touch, because our body is the biggest organ of our body is our skin, and this is where you have all the sensory of touch. And this brings a client to just a kind of augmented reality experience. So we are talking already about these new words that we are hearing about augmented reality, artificial intelligence, about virtual reality, but let's stay in our industry. As I always say, we are in the wellness industry, means we are not let's say in a place where we want to overwhelm our body. We go to the spa to relax. We go to the spa to get some benefits, which can be health wise or pamper wise or therapeutic wise. So with this new technology, we bring the augmented reality. And when I say that, people think about that you use the glasses, and that we don't need that. We close our eyes in the spa and we get to a next level. This experience has to be experienced, as the word says, which I always explain to people, because it's very important that everyone has another way of experiencing something. So if people ask me why this in the industry, is just to bring a new technology, a new experience in the spa, in the relaxation area, for example. Here, as we are not therapeutic, it's not an entertainment device, but it's just an additional experience where you can connect with your phone, and there is an algorithm that translated to a nice haptic experience. Anyway, you are all welcome to try one in one of our places, because this is the only way to understand how this works. Going from augmented reality to using AI And this is the next level of augmented reality, as the augmented reality and using AI. We call it the augmented massage. So if you can see the picture, you will see someone laying on the bed, face down, and then the therapist doing a service. But then you see behind her back there is a screen, and above her there is a sensor that detects her hands, and that is translated through an algorithm, through programming, through artificial intelligence, to certain music and sounds. We can program different type of experiences, and this is, let's say, the 1.0 new way of doing massage. This is something which is what I call a fusion between music, dance, and massage. With this technology, we were able to combine 3 different experiences to one, which makes the therapist being more excited working, performing. It's a performance. It's like almost like playing a guitar or an instrument for the therapist. And the dancing aspect is because depending on your position, you can control the different layers of the sound. Again, this is really, it goes a little far above the regular massage. It combines technology, touch, music, dance. This is even more complex to understand. The best is again to have an experience. This bed is something unique. It has 9 speakers built in to simulate a sound system that has never been experienced before. And we had, for example, at iSpa, the first launch of this technology, and I think everyone was talking about it because it became the game changer in the industry for when it comes to regular massage. So moving to what is important for us. I mean, if you will be doing, or we will be doing some claims, it's very important that this has to be validated, so that we are not claiming anything which is just by referral that people like it. No, it should be based on scientific work, on what we called verified wellness. Verified wellness is includes, or it's combined to research that we are doing, not we, but we give out the product and to the labs and to universities, and they do the clinical studies to verify if it's, what is the detoxing aspect, for example, of this picture that you see. It's our MLX i3 dome, where we combine far infrared technology with light therapy and negative ions. This combination is what we found out. It's like the ultimate detoxing experience. And the clinical studies, they will show exactly what's happening. Reduction of cortisol, so stress hormone. It improves the immune system's function. It lowers the anxiety and depression score states. And it elevates the well-being rating. So there is a rating that the University of Nice, with the help from Professor Christoph Hauswirth, that he did with other doctors and PhDs, to show and prove what's happening. So who is interested in knowing that is welcome to get the studies. And there are some very interesting aspects that came out of these clinical studies, that it reduces muscle and joint pain and decreases insomnia states. So which is very interesting, as this one could be combined also with the Wellnamis or with the Satori technology. So we are there and already mentioning all these claims, which are wellness claims, wellness benefit claims, that is important to have people in the company that understand and that gives the right answer to the customers, and also to help in the developing and designing of the products and also the protocols to make no false claims. So I created, as I mentioned 3 years ago, a scientific advisory board built by 3 PhD MDs professor from 3 countries: Italy, France and USA, and we are here as a great team. And Alina Hernandez, who is secretary of our advisory board, is leading this in order to work further innovation in wellness technologies. So the results, for example, as an example, if I take our quartz bed that you can see here, I mentioned it, this is one of the oldest mindfulness technologies. 12 years ago, when I took over a business in Germany that has been building this box with warm sand, helping people with back pain, with warm sand. And I had the idea of bringing it to our industry, and without knowing what's happening today. And this is really a very interesting new trend. So the quartz, for example, integrates sun therapy, aromatherapy, and inversion therapy in one. And the Wellnamis has this, as we explained already, the banal led by Dr. Sergio Pecorelli from Brescia University. And to show what's happening to the autonomic nervous system. We all know the autonomic nervous system controls our body in different parts, like the nervous system, etc. And this means an improvement of using both of the technology, the quartz and the Wellnamis. The use of them, the repetitive use, was shown by the clinical studies that it was very beneficial. And then we kind of get a curve that we improve, and then we reach a certain level there where we have to maintain. Maintain means that I don't need that intensity of doing the treatments. I can do it then once in a month. So using technology can help with the autonomic nervous system. We can work on detoxing the body. We can work on reducing some stress level, or in terms of far infrared technology, also sports recovery time can be reduced down to almost zero. A lot of benefits and claims that are based on the clinical studies. And so the question is, what is the future? Oops, I was a little too fast with the end. I hope the slide goes back. Yes. So the future of wellness technologies. We all learned that consumers nowadays are looking for new experiences and evidence-based claims to ensure that the value for their wellness spend is there. So people are ready to spend more, and we have to bring the industry more technologies that still stay in the non-medical field. We have to be careful not to mix up being a medical entity. We are still from the spa, coming from the spa industry to the wellness industry. Even though we are using far infrared and other technologies, our claims they have to be non-medical, and they are non-medical. So it's all about evidence-based work, about bringing technology and helping a mind-body experience, and not only the experience but also the benefit. So we need to work on more technologies, and we are doing it. So we have about 8 or 9 technologies right now, and next year there will be a new one, which will be also very exciting and very interesting, with a lot of different claims that we can work on. So we can create that wellness entity where I can combine, I can have the fusion between the regular spa treatment, massage, and the new technologies, and be more holistic. That's my presentation, and yes, so I hope that it was helpful and beneficial to understand a little what we are doing, how I see our industry changing. And there are changes, definitely. It's happening already now. We are opening more and more hotels, and they're interested in technologies. Sometimes they want to implement one, sometimes they want to have 2, sometimes they believe in creating that changing spa to wellness facility. So it's exciting. A lot is happening. And as Sarah said, and that she tried all of them. For sure, when you try, you experience the moment, but to have benefits, you need to repeat and and you are welcome anytime to come to one of our places.
Thank you, Sammy.
I don't know how much, but
really,
maybe it was
really interesting, everything. So first question is, the Wellnamis is a great relaxation treatment on its own, but is it possible to also do treatments, maybe facials or something, while someone is on that treatment bed?
This was my intention when I combined the vibroacoustic binaural technology, is to bring to the treatment room, because we have to differentiate. We have one is the treatment room where you do your massage, and then one is the relaxation area. So the Wellnamis is a product for the treatment room. That means it can be used as a regular spa table. You do your massage, your facial, your whatever treatment, and you can combine it. So this is the Wellnamis, the purpose of the Wellnamis.
Okay, thank you. We do have a comment from one of the participants, Anna Maya, who says, hola, augmented massage looks really something else. The devices before are awesome, but she thinks that massage therapy, human touch, is always going to be sought and valuable. And greetings from Mexico, and thanks for sharing. I agree, human touch is obviously always desirable, but as in an industry that's growing, we need options to give clients when there aren't enough therapists available. I wonder your thoughts on this, Sammy.
So it's very, very important to mention this, because I have the feeling, if I interpret what she says, I think she didn't maybe get it the way I was mentioning the augmented massage, and this is literally the big difference. So all technologies can be touchless. The only one that is hands-on, and even enhanced hands-on, is the augmented massage. You need the therapist that move his hand on the body. So that means everyone is focusing nowadays on bringing touchless technologies. Gharieni, I would say, is the only one that focused on the regular massage to take it to the next level. It's even more intense because you are more focused on the guest. You are more touch, and the touch is combined to the music, and it's combined to the way you are performing. So we are getting the regular massage to the next level, touching the body. It doesn't work without touch.
Definitely. And I've tried that one, and it really was quite special, feeling the movements of the therapist and feeling and hearing the sounds that go along with the movements are amazing. No, she is mentioning that looks really something else,
okay.
She said, but the previous devices, so the devices that came before that are touchless, like the Satori, the Wellnamis, and the what's the other one? The Satori
and the Aura Sense.
Aura
Yeah,
Sense,
for sure.
yes.
This is what I said. I said that everyone is focusing nowadays on this touchless, but we went both. We did both. We did touchless, but also hands-on. And we took the hands-on because nothing happened. And when I say this augmented massage, just to mention it, can you guess how long we worked on that? What do you think? Guess.
Oh, I imagine it's many years, like 8 years, 10 years.
Yeah, let's say 7 years. I remember we took like a prototype like crazy at iSpa and invited just 20 people to get the feedback. And then we disappeared for 5-6 years. And now we are back here. And this is the beginning of a new era. So be prepared. The augmented massage 1.0 will get us to 2.0 and 3.0, and more is happening. But now we have to spread the 1.0 everywhere. Before we buy the iPhone 14, we have to sell the 13, etc.
Yes, that makes sense. I have a question actually about the Aura Sense. I did try that at iSpa in Las Vegas recently, and I tried a couple of the different programs for a few minutes each, and I really loved the Tibetan bowls, feeling and hearing the sound of the bowls at different places around the body was just really unique. And there's so many interesting programs. Obviously, I couldn't try them all, but I wanted to know what are either your favorites or some of the most popular ones, so that we can tell the audience a little bit about them.
Thank you for mentioning that. It's really interesting because you are mentioning something very, very special that no one really, even me, I didn't get the importance of simulating the singing bowls with technology. You know, that's a game changer, because usually as a spa, you are going to buy your 6, 7, 8 singing bowls. You need someone that is going to be trained. We do even the training. It takes 3 days to get proper training. And then you need a therapist. So the therapist is not there. That's a problem. This new technology, the vibroacoustic, makes it possible with sound to simulate the benefit of the singing bowls. And thus, what happens? I can do a session of singing bowls without therapist. That's a game changer. Because I didn't answer your question, but just to mention something that is unique in the world, that no one thought of simulating singing bowls, which we did. And this is implemented in the lounger, but can be implemented also in the treatment room and this treatment bed. So we are opening totally a new era of using technology to simulate some very Tibetan singing bowls. So we are not getting out of the tradition. We are using the modern technology to use our tradition. It's the tradition of the Tibetan bowls, you know, or the quartz. So we are not anti traditions. We want to take the traditions and use them. And if there is a way to bring it in a different way, this is what we are creating. So my favorite program of all is the water ride. I personally love the water ride. It's a 3 minutes experience where you hear someone walking to near the beach, and then when you hear the water splashing, you feel the splash into your back. Literally, you think that it's getting wet. So people say, wow. And this is what I call augmented reality, because usually when you put your headset, you hear music, but the other senses of the body are not connected, right? If you open your eyes, this is where you have a visual combination between sound and vision. But again, I am against opening the eyes in the spa industry. You have to close. This is where we are. So we use other sensorial experience, which is the haptic experience, because this is the biggest organs of the body. Sorry, there is a message that I've got now. Lucky only one.
Thank you. Now, I will say that I love that program, and I typically don't love listening to audio recordings of Tibetan bowls, because it really doesn't represent the reality of Tibetan bowls or any kind of sound healing therapy. You don't get the vibrations. So if I'm doing a meditation at home, I never use Tibetan bowls, because to hear it from an iPhone or through speakers is not the same. But with that, feeling the vibrations through the AuraSense bed really was incredible. I have one more question related to a treatment plan for stress and anxiety. So you mentioned that initially there is a benefit from doing treatments and then a plateau where it's maintenance. So what would a typical treatment plan look like over the course of weeks or months for someone suffering with stress and anxiety?
Oh my God. I think this is something I cannot answer fast. We have a scientific advisory board that when we create a program with different technologies, and we are helping also wellness resorts, if they want to use technologies, how to embed them with their other offerings. So it's not simply black or white, you know, it's just about working together and some other technologies, combining technologies, but combining also nutrition, sleep. So we are as a complex entity, you know. We cannot separate things in our body, you know. As I told you, if your body is tired, or your body is in good shape, but your brain, it's one entity. So it's all about, and we have our scientific advisory board, and Alina as a secretary, we help programming, and I cannot go into the details because it's a complex matter. Depends on exactly what you want to target. So who is interested can contact us or Alina, and then we can be helpful.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Sammy. We're going to finish up here. This has been so interesting and really great information for our audience. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you. Bye.